Hi, I'm Dana, and a lot of my content is somewhat depressing and not very happy, so I wanted to take today because I'm actually in quite a good mood, and I'd like to not ruin that by talking about like my abusive childhood or the struggles I face in daily life. You know, it'd be nice to not focus on that for a bit. So I wanted to do a little video of things that have made me happy and cheered me up lately, because there's actually been a fair few. It's one of those where like life is hard, but you've got to try and find the little things that make it better and like worth being alive, and I do that as much as I can, so that's what we're going to focus on today. And firstly, one of the big things that's cheered me up is I'm actually making moves on making my move. So I finally have a date booked in to go and view it. I'm probably still going to have to borrow a little bit of money from somebody towards my rent, because I could technically just pay my deposit and rent right now, but I would have nothing left. So I still need to eat. I have ordered my cat's food, so like he's not going hungry, but I'm getting close. You know, it's no longer like, how the fuck am I paying this? It's okay, I will be able to pay this in one way or another. I might need to pay somebody back, or like send, you know, it might not be like the most easy, straightforward, perfect thing, but it's within sight. It's no longer something I'm absolutely shitting myself over. I have a date to view. I have a date to move as long as the viewing goes well, which like I don't see why it wouldn't. I have my friend that's helping me move who has booked the van and booked the hotel and knows what they're doing, which is a massive pile of stress off me that I didn't even like fully realise I was carrying, because like it's one of those things where like I have brilliant friends right now, but I've also spent my entire life being used to people that say they're going to do something for me and then it's just too fucking difficult and they don't do it well, or they don't, you know, every time someone has helped me, not every time, but the vast majority of times in the past that people have helped me with something, they've actually just sort of made it more difficult. And it's one of those things I didn't realise I was like deeply carrying until they messaged me being like, oh, I've sorted this, this and this, and I was like, I feel so much better. I feel so good about this. Like it's like I know it's like just passing the stress onto them, and I don't feel great that my friend's stressed, but like with all the anxiety and stress that I've been carrying, it is so nice to have had these little elements of it lifted. And like I still have to, you know, pack all of my shit and actually move all of my shit and deal with moving Otis and deal with being in a completely new space, and there's still a whole bunch of stuff. But we're making moves towards a life that I think I will enjoy much more and be much happier within. And it's actually happening and feeling like a genuine thing that's going on. And I do feel like I probably should have felt like that a bit sooner, because like I paid the holding deposit like over a month ago, I think. Like that was a while ago now. It probably should have felt a bit more real sooner. But it feels real now and I'm enjoying it. I've been working, like I've shown you some of my other crochet stuff to be fair, and I've continued really enjoying it, and I just love that I can have like the image of something in my head and then make it. So I've spent maybe a week on this, because I keep seeing people make the hood scarves online, but they just fold a square and it makes it a pointy hood, and like no shade if that's what you like, it's just not, I don't like it. I couldn't tell you why. Like I don't care when I see it on someone else. I don't want to wear like a weird fucking point on my head. I don't like the idea of wearing it whatsoever. Like I think it looks fine for other people, I don't want it. So I did my own little like hood design. So what, I don't really know why I'm explaining this to you, but other than like I'm excited by the fact that I did it. It was quite a lot of like mental math for me, okay? So I started out doing this long green section. I just did a big long rectangle, and then I added the green square onto it, went around that a couple of times with my other colours, and then just did like the straight brown bit. I don't want to have to sew nothing together. I don't trust that it's gonna stay. I don't really understand how people are sewing their crochet things together, so I just crochet everything onto it, you know, everything's just one crocheted piece, nothing sewn on. And I do still have some ends to weave in, but I have been trying to do them mostly as I go, and I suppose I should probably show you it on, to be fair. I accidentally did an increase like there, I think. I fucked up the hood slightly at some point, but by continuing, so I don't know why I'm going so in depth on this, I won't lie to you, I'm not sure anybody actually cares, but I care, okay? This is about me. So after I did the big green bit, I then went around it a couple of times, but that didn't make the scarf as long as I wanted it to be, so then I just did stripes. And at first, I did consider counting rows and doing it properly, and then I was like, actually, I kind of like the idea of them both being a bit different and being a bit patchwork. I should probably like actually show it off if I'm gonna make a whole video about it. The whole video isn't about this, okay? But I'm very fucking happy with it. I'm very fucking proud of it. I can't wait to wear it about in Yorkshire on my little hikes when it's cold. I don't like hats very much, I think is one of my big things, but my head does get really cold, and when my ears get cold it makes the inside of my head hurt, and it's a whole thing for me. I think it's sensory. I have brought it up to doctors because it makes me very uncomfortable for like half the year, but I think it's a sensory issue more than anything, so I'm happy with that. And then I can't resist doing these little scallop edges, and you can't see it very well. I think I might need to like some level of block this, but also it's all acrylic, so there's not really that much point. But I did the scallop along the back edge and the bottom, and then this part is obviously straight. I used quite a big needle hook for the whole lot of it, apart from the last 3 rows of yellow that I did on the hood were with a smaller hook, and I think that's what's given it this shape that I wanted. I hoped it would, like I did have the idea in my head of like, this is what will happen, you know? So I am happy with it, and I don't love the way that it folds when I wrap it around, which is just what happens when you make a really big thick scarf. But I had to keep making it longer because I need a dangle bit. I need to be able to wrap it around and also have a bit that dangles, and then that will go inside my coat when I'm wearing one, and it'll obviously without, can I turn it away where you, yeah, see? You get the vibe. You understand what's happening here now. I think maybe even just having one wrapped around could look kind of... I'm happy with it. It's making me happy. I'm glad that I did it. I'm glad that I finished it. I like being able to just have an idea in my head and sit down and crochet it now. I feel powerful. But also I really do need to learn some more stitches because I don't think I'm crocheting properly. But I am ending up with the result that I want, so I'm not that upset about it. So that's the end of show and tell. And what I'm going to try and do now, if I can, is weave edges in while I continue to talk to you. And if I stop talking, I will have to stop weaving in edges, because pretty much everything else is TV shows. Apart from, I also listened to Lily Allen's new album with one of my friends. I need my little light on so I can see what I'm doing. So Lily Allen's new album... I keep reading the comments on TikToks about her, and I keep seeing the ones that are like, but she's a terrible person, why do you like her? I don't know what she's fucking done, okay? I'm not like a Lily Allen stan. I heard Smile when I was 8 years old and was like, yeah, that's a fucking bop. And then I heard Fuck You and was like, yeah, that's sick. There's also the, when I was 22, the world was so bright. Like, I've got a few Lily Allen songs that I like, but like, I don't know shit about Lily Allen. I don't know what she's done. I don't know what she gets up to. And I don't really feel any need to. Because, like, I'm not going to see her in concert. I'm not going to buy any merch. I'm allowed to listen to an album. Cool. And I also am very happy that... Right, I feel bad for her. Obviously, she's been through some absolute shit, and David Harbour's an absolute wrong'un in several ways. But I am kind of glad that now everyone hates him. Because I've hated him since... early 2020, because I went to a Comic-Con that he was at, and there was a little girl that was dressed up as Hopper, and like her family just gave the vibe of like, we can afford to go to Comic-Con, we can't get anything signed, we can't talk to anyone, we can't get any pictures, but we can go, you can see them, you know? And that's the kind of family that I came from. So I was immediately like, oh, go ahead girl. And she had a big sign that said, I love you, Hopper, and she was fully dressed as him, and she was stood to like the side of the queue, and she held up her big sign during a quiet moment when he wasn't talking to anyone, and he looked directly at her, made no expression, made like he definitely read that fucking sign and looked at the little girl that was fully dressed as his character jumping up and down trying to get his attention, looked directly at her for like a few seconds, and then just went back to talking to the person next to him like nothing had happened. And it's one of those things where like, I don't think the celebrities have to be like on 24/7, but also give her a fucking wave, you know? Like that's all she wants. She just wants a tiny bit of fucking acknowledgement and gotta make her little life. Like just wave to her. And he didn't, and it made me really hate him. Like it completely put me off Stranger Things, because like I only watched Stranger Things because Winona Ryder was in it, and then I was like, oh, I do love Joyce and Hopper actually. Don't anymore. Couldn't care less about that now. I haven't cared about that in a good little while. And I'll still watch Stranger Things, don't get me wrong, but I'm glad that people hate David Harbour now. That's made me happy. Beyond that though, I've had an absolute string of incredible television happen to me, things that just like so perfectly fit within my special interest and all of my little actors doing things that, so I'm gonna tell you about some TV shows and there might be some spoilers. You're frankly going to have to live with it. I'm going to try to keep it somewhat spoiler free, but there will be some for some. I'll warn you, block your ears. Yeah, so the first one that we got this year was The Assassin, and you've heard about that quite extensively if you watch my videos because it had Keely Hawes in it. I am always just waiting for the next thing to come out that has Keely Hawes in it. She's perfect, she's flawless, I adore her. And The Assassin was one of those things where I was like, I think I like it to a point. You know, I'd quite enjoy a bit of like action. I'd like more action movies if they weren't always about men, to be honest with you. So having it be with Keely Hawes, I was like, yeah, I reckon I might be into this. I was really fucking into it. Her character was brilliant. Everything about it was fantastic. I really thoroughly, deeply enjoyed it. Like, I think if there's other autistics like me watching, it's one of those things where like when you watch everything an actor that you like has done, there's gonna be some stuff that you're not such a big fan of. There's gonna be some stuff where you're like, and especially with people like Keely Hawes, there's always like the start of their career where they were clearly taking roles because they needed to like get in there and get their foot in the door, and fair dues, you got it. I'm glad you did so that you got where you were so I could find you. Doesn't tend to lead to the greatest roles. So I've been very happy when actors do take the roles that I like, and I just adored The Assassin. It's amazing, and it really put me in the right space for like cool women doing things they probably shouldn't, but they seem quite fun, so I'm gonna let them off with it in The Sun. Because after The Assassin we then got Frauds, and I loved it and hated it because everything about the trailer and everything about the cast and just everything about me as a person made me really truly deeply believe that it was going to be gay. And spoiler alert, it's not. They're not gay. Simon Jones and Jodie Whittaker do not kiss. They do fight in a pool, but they don't kiss. And I really convinced myself they were going to, based on absolutely nothing from the trailer. Like, I would love to sit here and tell you that Frauds queer baited me. They didn't. I queer baited me. It was me. It was all my own fault. It was me and like 3 other women on TikTok just deluding ourselves. But that being said, it was one of those shows that I thought I would watch a couple of episodes of and then get something done. And I, in fact, just sat down and watched the whole fucking lot. And I probably should have known that I was going to because it's Simon Jones and Jodie Whittaker. Like, come on now. Oh. I'm a very character-based watcher. And the characters of Berth and Sam and the way that it ended, I love them. I love them so deeply. I love a fucking horrible, complex woman. They're both kind of awful. Sam's nicer than Bird, don't get me wrong, but they're both vaguely awful, and I love it for them. They're so terrible for each other, and they're going to be together forever. See, like, they're not gay. Like, it didn't hint at that. It didn't make it seem like they're gonna get together unless they go off. Like, there was no hint. I've just decided in my little head that they're gonna go off and become gay for some reason. Like, every woman is a lesbian at heart, guys. Like, duh. I do it to myself, truly. And I continue to do it to myself because I need to go in chronological order with what came out. I'm sorry, I do. So next up, I watched Film Club. And I only watched it because Simon Jones was in it. I am becoming partial to Amy Lou Wood because the way that it works with how I get into actors is they have to have either been in Ashes to Ashes or been in things with people out of Ashes to Ashes a lot of the time. And I have like other little like groups of actors. So what Amy Lou Wood's managed is she was in Sex Education with Gillian Anderson. That was why I watched it. But she was also in it with Asa Butterfield, who was in Ashes to Ashes. And then she was in... I can't remember what it's called, but it had Franny out of Clocking Off. And Clocking Off is sort of like secondary Ashes to Ashes to me because it's got like the entire male cast in it. So that counted as like her second strike. And then she was in Toxic Town with Jodie Whittaker and Ben Batt. And Ben Batt's one that has been inducted and that you'll hear more about, but he was also in Shameless and Scott and Bailey. Yeah, and then Amy Lou Wood's also done Film Club, and I need to actually look it up, and I still haven't, because I vaguely saw an interview of her talking about how it's about a woman realising that she's autistic, the character of Evie in Film Club realising that she's autistic, and that's why she's had like a little breakdown that we see at the start. I don't feel like that's a spoiler, it's kind of what the show's about. And yeah, I hadn't seen anything about it when I went into it. I was just like, oh, Celine Jones is here and Amy Lee Wood, okay. And then Amelia Bummer was there and I didn't expect her to be in it. It made me so happy. I love when people out of Ashes to Ashes just pop up, and she's one of my absolute faves, and I loved her as Jill Murray, and oh, it was such, oh, I'm usually so aware of people that are in things when it's new, when it's up and like when it's just come out, because I see them post about it, and oh, it was such a nice surprise to have Amelia Bummer be there and not be expecting her. It was lovely. She's in like 2 scenes, but it's enough for me. And it was, so it's about a film club. Evie is a 28-year-old woman just like me that runs a film club because she's really obsessed with movies. If that bitch was neglected by her mother and really into BBC TV shows with the actresses that she's working with in it instead of movies, it would be about me. I'm sorry. Also, if she wasn't straight, it's not about me, but it could be in an alternate dimension where it's completely different. But I do think that it feels massively representative of the autistic experience and the like autistic experience that I've been through, and I didn't get around to doing a fucking job in that. That's her experience is basically what happened to me when I tried to go to college at 16 and just couldn't fucking manage it, but I didn't have any support system. So my first watch, there were multiple points that just made me cry quite a lot, but my second watch that I just finished this morning with my friends, I enjoyed it in the first place, but it was less emotionally draining this time to watch, and I would definitely recommend it to my audience. I think people that like my videos will like Film Club a lot. And my main favourite new obsession thing that has come out is Riot Women. It's the best thing since Ashes to Ashes. We get middle-aged Yorkshire women forming a fucking rock band together, and they're actually good, and they're songwriters, and Kitty is everything, and we get Amelia Bulmer, and we get Tamsin Greig, and we get, oh, just so many, Nicholas Greaves, and Ben Batt's back again. I fucking hate Ben Batt in the way that I really love some men. So every now and again, I don't like men. I don't. I descend them from my life as much as possible. I don't enjoy them as people a lot of the time. I don't want anything to do with them. In my own encapsulated bubble, you know, if a man talks to me outside, I'm going to be polite and civil and not be like, I don't talk to men. But like in my day-to-day life, I don't really want to be around them. I don't really want to deal with them, and I especially don't want to use my TV time watching them. But there's some men like Ben Batt that just play such horrible characters so well that like I cringe when I see him. He makes my stomach drop. Everything he did to Karen in fucking Shameless was just so, like, there's a look in his eyes when he's being horrible to women. And I'm sure it's acting, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Ben Batt as a person is horrible, but he plays it too fucking well, and it just sends a genuine fucking chill through me to look at him. And I hate him in a way that I really fucking adore, because I hate him because he's such a good actor. And I'm the same with like Daniel Mays and Rupert Graves. There's not that many people that I'm like it with, especially not men. Like, I don't hate any women in the way that I hate men though. But he just, oh, he's good. He's good. And Nicholas Greaves is in it as well, who is Leslie Sharp's husband. I do. One of the women that is in Riot Women played Jodie Whittaker's mum in Adult Life Skills, which is one of my absolute all-time favourite movies. It's honestly, as much as I love Doctor Who, it's maybe my favourite thing that Jodie Whittaker's in, because Anna is just like such a, oh, I love her. One of my absolute all-time favourite characters. And the actors from Riot Women stayed at the Holdsworth Hotel in Yorkshire, which is where, I think that's where like everyone's ever been in anything that Sally Wainwright has written stays, to be honest with you. And it was also used as where Caroline and Kate have their like little date in Last Tango in Halifax, so I really want to visit at some point. And they posted a picture of the actors and their extended family that was staying there, and the mum from Adult Life Skills is married to fucking Gollum, like Andy Serkis. And like, don't get me wrong, I'm aware that he isn't Gollum, but he is Gollum. And like, I hate finding out that the actors that I like are married to each other. It's one of my absolute least favourite things in the world. Please stop being incestuous like that. You're all working for the BBC, you're all part of the BBC, you're all part of my circle, and you're marrying each other. I don't like it. And Andy Serkis, to be fair, is not part of my BBC circle. It's not the same as with like Phil and Beth Goddard, or like Nicholas Greaves and Leslie Sharp. Like, it's not as close to home because he's only in Lord of the Rings. But I don't know how I feel about it. I like, it's fine, it's silly, it's like, it's not serious, you know. I'm not actually, I don't know how I feel about her being married to him, but it's like, I really don't know if I prefer the actors that I like being married to Gollum or Mr. Darcy. I'm not sure which I find worse here. I just, that's part of my thing of like, I don't like knowing what celebrities are up to. I don't want to know what they're doing. I like all of the actors I like. I want you to show up on set, say your lines and do your little acting, you know, like play my little part that I'm going to enjoy, and then go home and I don't want to hear any more from them. That's all I want. Do your job and fuck off. Like, I don't mean it seriously again, but you know what, you get what I mean, I hope. Like, you're my little characters. I don't want you to be your own character marrying Gollum and doing things in real life. I don't want to know about that. I didn't mean to know about it as well. Like, I think that's part of what gets me is that, like, I've never once Googled, like, who is such and such married to until I see something that hints that they're married, and I'm like, I need to know now. Now that I have, like, the hint in my head and I think these two people might be together, I need to know for sure. So then I Google it. But I've never, like, independently wanted to know. I also can't wait to fucking move because 2 of my neighbours have had rats in their houses and I keep feeling like I hear something. And I don't know if it's just me being paranoid or if it's my neighbours or if it's Otis. But I don't want to deal with fucking rats, man. That's not for me. That's not the life I want to live. I'm also rewatching Baba Rose and I've only watched it twice before. And it was like a while ago, and also while I was in like a really horrible mental space and living space, and just like the whole time was a fucking horrible time. And it was one of the things I really watched for like a lot of comfort because I love Leslie Sharp, but it means that like I really don't remember it as well as I thought I did, and I'm enjoying it as though I'm watching it for the first time again. That has to be my neighbour. These walls are like absolutely solid in it. It sounds like it's in my house. It sounds like it's in my room. Or maybe I'm just losing my mind. I don't know. I only did like 3 ends, but I've been filming for a while. That is the video done. I don't think I have anything else to talk about. They're the things I've been enjoying. That's been the stuff that's like keeping me in a half decent mood to stay alive. It's been great. It's been lovely. Now, you know, like, it's fine. I'm just in a bit of a waiting period and I'm finding little glimmers of things that make me happy, and that works. And for now, I'd be a bit fucking horrified if this was my long-term situation, but it's not. It's not going to be. I'm going to be able to go out for nice walks in nice places soon, and it's going to be lovely, and I'm going to be very happy. So, if you want to see usually much more depressing content than this, that I do hope is at least helpful, like if I'm sharing all of my horrible things, I do at least hope it's helpful to people. So if you want to see that, you can like and subscribe as always. You can also find me over on TikTok, Instagram or Blue Sky. I need to stop saying Blue Sky. I don't even have the app downloaded. I'm not on Blue Sky. Don't follow me there, there's no point. Follow me on Instagram or TikTok. And you can also find me over on Ko-fi or Patreon if you want to help me get the last little bit of my rent and deposit together, because that would be really cool. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I'm gonna go now. So whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you have a lovely morning, evening, day, afternoon, week, month, year, and I will see you again in a couple of days.